Hello and welcome to the normal mode Ragnaros 10-man tanking guide. My name is Outback Jack and I will be showing you the fight from the point of view of a protection warrior. If you're watching this video, I will assume that you are familiar with the core mechanics of the fight, so we will only focus on the abilities and nuances of the tanking role. Ragnaros is broken up into 3 phases with 2 intermissions. With a large number of mechanics here, I'll try to just focus on the tank related stuff. Sulfurous Smash is an ability that he will keep all the way up to phase 3. He will target a person in melee range and smash the spot they were standing in with his hammer. This is easily seen since a large pool of lava will form underneath the hammer to telegraph the location of the smash. The people near the hammer need to move away to avoid the lava waves that will appear and move across the platform. Note that the flaming patch left behind by the hammer for a few seconds will still hurt you a lot. This comes into play with Rag's next ability. Hand of Ragnaros will knock everyone in melee range away from him several yards and do a minor amount of damage. This becomes something to watch out for near the end of phase 1, because the timers for Hand of Ragnaros and Sulfurous Smash will start lining up, meaning that he could knock you back into the flaming patch left behind by the hammer, or if you're really unlucky, right into the lava wave itself. Position yourself accordingly so that you get knocked backwards just outside the flaming patch if one is near you. The first intermission is simple in concept but deadly if you don't get it right. Ragnaros will slam his hammer into one of 3 locations in the room and retreat into the lava to let his Sons of Flame finish you off. The Suns will go directly from their spawn location to the hammer at a high speed. If they connect with the hammer, they will detonate for a very high amount of damage, which will most likely kill several of your raid members. The Suns' movement speed is reduced the more damage they take. They can also be stunned, which makes being a protection warrior particularly fun here. Start DPSing your designated Son of Flame until its health is low, and then charge off to help stun another of the higher health mobs. It's simple in theory, but this could take a little practice for your raid members. Phase 2 retains the Sulfurous Smash and loses Hand of Ragnaros, but introduces 2 new elements that will wreck your day. The first of these is Molten Seeds. Molten Seeds will spawn on top of several of your raid members and deal a moderate amount of damage to them and anyone within 6 yards of them. That means spread out or you will die. After the seeds are placed, your raid will need to switch sides to avoid the detonation of the seeds. The further you are away from the seeds, the less damage they will do. After the seeds detonate, they will spawn an ad, which will fixate onto the raid member that was the source of their seed. These ads cannot be taunted, but they can be stunned. During this phase, Rag will also use Engulfing Flames. Engulfing Flames will cover a third of the platform with fire, which will inevitably kill anyone that gets caught in it. This gets really challenging when Rag decides to use Engulfing Flames in melee range along with Molten Seeds just before he does Sulfurous Smash. Stay on your toes for this combination and don't panic when you see it. Note that Ragnaros has a very large hitbox that just barely extends past the third of the floor that he covers in Engulfing Flame. Be very careful not to run too far out when Engulfing Flames covers the melee area, since Rag will start chucking Magma Blast at people if no one is in melee range of him. The second intermission adds 2 more ads along with the Sons of Flame. The Lava Scions will need to be tanked by one of your 2 tanks during this intermission and the very early part of phase 3. The Lava Scions are second in priority though to killing Sons of Flame. The Lava Scions will melee the tank and occasionally cast Blazing Heat onto a raid member. Blazing Heat leaves a fire trail on the ground, which inflicts a hefty amount of fire damage to anyone that stands in it. This fire trail will also heal the Lava Scions and Sons of Flame by 10% every second. If a Sun gains health, he gains movement speed, which is obviously very bad. People affected by Blazing Heat will need to move to the outside edge of the platform to drop the fire trail out of the way of the raid. Phase 3 is where stuff really starts getting nasty. Ragnaros keeps Sulphurous Smash and Engulfing Flames for this phase, but now gains Living Meteor. Living Meteor will be cast at the location of a player and deals a high amount of damage to anyone in the impact area of the meteor. This is telegraphed by a fiery swirl on the ground, so keep your eyes peeled. The meteor will fixate onto a raid member, not the tanks, and begin to follow them. If anyone, including the tanks, comes within range of the meteor, it will explode, dealing a large amount of damage to everyone around them. The meteors can be knocked back with a single hit by anyone, but note that the meteor will be knocked back directly away from that person. While tanking Ragnaros, make sure that any meteors near you don't have a chance of being knocked into you. That pretty much sums up your role in this encounter. Watch your feet, tell everyone else to watch their feet, and pump out as much damage as you can while not standing in fire. You can find our World of Logs report for this kill in the comment section below. If you have any questions, please visit the Tankspot.com strategy forums for discussion on this encounter and others. Enjoy your kill!